Alright, we should be rolling in a second. We should be good. Gravy. Let me check my... Alright, we should be rolling in a second. We should be good. Yep, that sounds good to me. That don't sound so terrible as it did in my last Hearthstone video. That was kinda crummy. So just give me one quick second here, guys. I just need to quickly do something because I am unprepared as usual. What else is new? Yay! Okay, so what's up, guys? Canadian Guy A here. Back with another live stream. I have not streamed in a while. It's been a little bit. Well, it's not been like a crazy amount of time, but you know, live with my vlog. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. What's with the mic? Is the mic okay? The mic good? I hope it's good because it sounded good to me. Sounded fine, relatively. Anywho, here, let me do this so I actually can be looking directly at you guys. There we go. Okay. And then, because normally I have it on this side, but now I'm going to have it on this side so I can focus more on you guys. Has his mic's been glitchy for... Is it still glitchy? Is it still glitchy? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. I just did a recording and the recording was fine. So, let's talk about what's going to be coming soon. So, last 2 weeks has been relatively quiet for me. With what happened you know, 2 weeks ago, I decided to take not a hiatus, but a break. I wanted to work on my videos. I didn't want to stream. I didn't really want to do much. Simply because wait, hang on a second. So I've been a little bit all over the place for the past 2 weeks. So let's talk about the projects first, and then we'll get on to what's been going on with me. So I have 3 projects on the go right now. I'm just looking here at my to-do list. 1, 2, at least 2, but I think there's a third one in there that I am not appointing for. I have so many projects going. Actually, now 4, now I think about it, but let's not talk about that. So, I'm trying to get a video out this week of talking about, kind of just talking about the proposition that I made on Twitter about who could be making the remaster. I go into detail and stuff like that, so that's one. The next one is I want to compile all the evidence that I found for all the Spiral videos that I did, the evidence videos, and there's more evidence that's come out. But instead of doing a part 3, I wanted to do like, okay, here is everything compiled together, but I wanted to wait until the phone call was finished. But I wasn't sure. I wasn't 100% sure if I wanted to just send it off like that. So I wanted to either wait for the phone call or have it out by tomorrow, which I don't think is going to happen. So I'm going to think that's going to be out Friday. And unless somehow they blatantly come out and say, yes, we are doing a Spyro remaster, it should be out by Friday. Because I'm staring at it right there. It's my project window, staring at me, blinking like, hey, work on me. So anyway, there's that. Then I wanted to do there was another project I wanted to do. I wanted to do a little bit off-brand project. I have my the blind walking one of my Let's Plays. You know how I did trouble with the trolley, eh? Well, I have the Why Are You Walking Into Rocks? So that's one that I'm doing, and I'm editing that. That one won't be available until next week. I was originally going to have that one ready this week. However, I was going to do it this week, but unfortunately, a bunch of stuff came up, so I decided to push it to next week before I continued. There's a StarCraft project I have on the go that I want to do because I am still a big fan of Star Trek, not Star Trek, StarCraft. Oh my gosh. And what other projects do I have on the go? I'm about to be doing uh what's it called? A live stream for Sly Cooper. I want to do a Sly Cooper live stream, do a completion of that game, because that was actually a game that I loved as a child. Were you going to the grocery store while you were gone? When's the phone call? The phone call is tomorrow at 4:30. I'm not sure if it's live stream or if it's going to be done and then posted, but I'm going to try to. I might make a video talking about that. So, but yeah, I want to do a Sly Cooper live stream. I eventually want to get to doing Ratchet and Clank, but I might, if I can figure it out, because apparently there's a way that I can do it where I can do my PlayStation 4 with face cam and bypassing all the stuff where it's like, oh, you're not allowed to play this. So, because I remember I was having problems with Dragon Ball FighterZ, because Dragon Ball FighterZ wasn't allowing me to stream the cinematics. That's because their Funimation is very much against that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, this kind of sucks, but you know, whatever. You just kind of have to deal with it. So I might be streaming Shadow of the Colossus. I might be picking up on Friday after I get paid, and then I might go pick it up. I'm not 100% sure. When is he going to compile the evidence? I want to be a part of that. The compiling of evidence video is still in the rough stages yet. It's that mic though. I'm sorry, guys. I am sorry. I don't know why it's going crazy because I heard it on playback and it sounded fine. I'll have to figure something out, but try to bear with me with the mic. Try your best, and I apologize. I'll try to get it fixed. Now, what other verbal diarrhea of other projects that I have? I have a StarCraft 2 movie trailer thing that I want to do, and that's pretty much what's on my plate right now. So I kind of have 4 or 5 projects on the go. So, okay, here's to where we get to the situation that I'm in now. So on Sunday, after the Super Bowl was finished, I went to my apartment. I watched the Super Bowl with my wife at my parents' house, and then I went back to my apartment. And that night, my heart wasn't beating. My heart wasn't beating. Aw, thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Super Bowl night, my heart was going weird, and I didn't know why. And I thought, okay, maybe it was just from the excitement of the Super Bowl. Thank you for your entertainment. Thank you. Well, seriously, thank you. So my heart wasn't beating right. I could feel it. Like, I could feel that my heart was beating at a regular pace, but I could feel it in my head, and I could feel it everywhere. I could feel pain. I could feel just problems, and I didn't know why. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't. I couldn't sleep. I was having problems. So I was like, okay, maybe it was just from the excitement of the Super Bowl. So I go to sleep. Next day, I'm not feeling it at first. I'm like, great. So I get to work. I sit down, and all of a sudden it comes back, and it comes back worse than it was before. And I was like, okay, that's not cool. And so I was having a hard time focusing in. I couldn't focus in, and I started getting lightheaded, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what is happening, right? And I was like, people were like, or I was looking at the symptoms, and I thought it was like anxiety or thyroid issue and all these problems. And I'm like, well, I've had anxiety and dealt with just generic anxiety since elementary school. I've always ignored it. Um, I've always ignored it. I've always just moved on. I've always just pushed through, and I've always persevered, and I always have made my goals just by ignoring my anxiety and just pushing through. So finally, I was like, okay, when I'm trying to focus on my work, and I can't. I literally could not focus on my work. I was like, okay, my editing is my bread and butter. Okay, I need to not only be good, I need to be really good. So I was like, I'll go to the doctors for this because I need something, or for them to tell me what's wrong with me. Because the thing is that I need to fix your heart by buying a Band-Aid with this. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Oh, thank you, dude. You don't have to keep donating. You don't have to. But thank you. That means a lot. Thank you. So, yes, overall, I'm okay, but I'll finish my story. So, I go to the doctor, and I get probably one of the worst doctors ever. Just, she she saw my wife before, when my wife we weren't sure if my wife was pregnant or not. And my we weren't sure if my wife was pregnant or not. And so we did it. She literally walked in, checked my wife, and we're like, well, what is it? Is she pregnant? She shrugs and goes, she's either pregnant or she's not. Thanks, Batman. Goodness gravy. Wow. I couldn't have figured that out myself. Thanks. So I get the same doctor. She walks in, and it's like, oh, great. Here we go. Here we go. We got the same doctor. So first she asks me, well, what do you think it is? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, it could be, I thought it had to be a thyroid issue, um, because I've been having problems losing weight, even though I've been really shrinking down my appetite and all these things. And it was like, I'm having problems here and there. And she laughs at me. And I'm just like, lady, you asked me what I thought it was. So, um, I, she checked me over, and she asks me, any sudden weight gain? And I said, no. And she asked me a few other questions, and I said, no. And then she asked, are you stressed? What went through my head was, I was like, yeah. And she looks at me with this look, and she's just like, oh, what are you stressed about? And I thought to myself, what am I stressed about? And I'm like, it'd be a better question to ask what I am not stressed about. I'm like, gee, I looked at her, I said, well, I said, my beautiful wife is pregnant. I'm working I work a very high stress job. I'm also a contractor. I'm also a YouTuber. And I have to find a new apartment for my wife and my soon to be baby. So, yeah, I'm stressed. I am very, very stressed. So I'm going for I'm going for a test that's called an ECG. Simply, they're checking my heart and seeing how it is. Not just not just a simple what are the beats like. They're checking if I'm missing a beat, if something's wrong. Because the problem is that I'm finding I'm running out of breath. Like I'll be sitting here, even talking to you guys, I can feel myself running out of breath. My appetite has gotten really, really small. Some mornings I just don't even eat breakfast and I don't even realize it until it's lunchtime. And I was just like, oh, I didn't eat anything yet. And it's just, so I'm not sure what it is. And um, I'm still feeling that what I'm feeling on Sunday. Now, luckily, it's been better, but I've had to start relaxing. I've literally had to force myself to relax. This is why I'm not wearing my glasses because um, by the end of the day, it stresses my eyes, right? When I have them on all day. So I know I asked the one stream if what I look better with or without glasses, but because my glasses are causing I had to eliminate these minor things of stress in my life to try to just keep my heart at a standstill. Because if I start getting hyped up and I start getting panicked, I start running out of breath. I get dizzy. I get lightheaded. And the doctor tells me that it sounds like a severe case of anxiety. Now, I looked at her and it didn't even register to me, really, honestly. At first, it didn't even register. I was just like, anxiety? Come on. I mean, like, I've dealt with anxiety all of my life. I can deal with it. I can still deal with it. This has to be something different. Um, and at first I thought that there was no way it could be anxiety. There's just, nope, not possible. Not possible that it is anxiety. Well, as the days went on, I noticed that my heart problem, I could feel my heart beating. I can feel it. Like I can, like, you know, when someone turns to you and it's like, oh, you're breathing. And when they do that, you realize that you're breathing, that you're conscious, that you're breathing, you're conscious of it. Um, that was like what my heart was doing. Like I was conscious of it beating. I can feel every single beat, and I can not just feel it in my chest. I feel it in my head. I feel it in my throat. I feel it um, in my wrists. I can feel it everywhere. I can just feel it, and it's I'm like, why? Why am I feeling this? I've never had this before. Hang on. Okay, sorry. I apologize. Um, but I can just feel it, and it's terrible. It sucks. It really does suck. Um, so I talked to my brother and my sister, and they, my sister suffers from anxiety as well, and maybe CG is the one who's pregnant. Yeah, maybe it's me that's prego. So but yeah, I've been dealing with this, and I've dealt with this all my life. I have, and I've always persevered and gotten through and just dealt with it. And for the first time in my life, I was physically, my body. Like, here's the thing: is that my mental state is fine, but my body is not, and I don't know why. And it it bugs me because here's my problem, and is that I get anxiety. I persevere through it. I just ignore it. I bury it and say whatever, and I just keep moving on, moving on. And then I mess up. And after I mess up, I get angry at myself and upset and agitated. Like, why did I make this mistake? This was dumb. That was stupid. Why did I do it? And then my anxiety gets worse. And then I make more mistakes. And then I get more angry. And then I get more. And it's just a vicious cycle until I can finally catch and be like, okay, sit down, basically sit down, shut up, and figure out what you're doing. Figure out your stuff. And this sometimes happens at work. This sometimes happens with editing videos. Sometimes this happens with any projects that I work on. Is I'll watch a project over after having an anxiety attack and be like, "Wow, this looks like garbage," and I will just stop working on it. And then sometimes I have moments of just pure clarity that nobody can stop me. Nobody can stop me. And then I edit and I look it back and I keep watching it. I'm like, wow, this looks great. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. And I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. You should probably take a break from YouTube or for a little bit longer, but help reduce your stress. We will understand. No, but this is where this this is where um, you guys come in. Is that it's actually the help with you guys that's helping me get through this. That is what's helping as well. The support of my wife and the support of all my loved ones is great. But what you guys don't realize that you guys are helping. You guys are literally this stream, just having you guys comment on my Twitter, talking to me on Twitter, uh, chatting with me. It helps me with my anxiety. Really, it does. Having conversations and sounds funny, but I've been dealing with this guy for the past um, almost month. He keeps on writing hate comments on one video I made. One video. It's gotten to the point where I'm almost laughing. I'm almost laughing my head off because I'm like, you like the comment. Are you even hearing yourself? And even responding to him, I'm assuming it's a him. Um, Bash me. It's actually kind of funny, and I don't necessarily mind for some reason. It's weird, and because normally I get all uppity and defensive and angry, but no, I was just like, okay, whatever. Here's my response, and if you don't like it, nothing much I can really say. So I'm going to be ending the stream in about 7 minutes because I have to get back to working on the upcoming video. Ooh. So I'm going to be talking a little bit more, but if you guys have questions for me, fire it off. I'm going to keep talking a little bit. I'll keep talking. If you guys have any questions, anything, fire it off. I love answering your questions. And even if you guys have a question at a random time for me, talk to me on Twitter. Fire me a message at Twitter and I'll respond. I always, funny enough, until like about 3 months ago, I hated Twitter. I thought Twitter was one of the dumbest social medias. And then once I got into it, I'm like, I get it now. I get it. I understand it. I love it. The title sounds interesting. So if you guys have any questions, fire it off. But the one thing that I was looking into for my anxiety is I want to try going through perhaps a natural path. That's just me. I like the idea of that. What that path will be, I don't know. Will you ever make a movie about your life? Probably not, because um, I probably won't make a movie about my life because my life is humble. Um, and I've always wanted it to be that way. I've never wanted to be this person who had these big events and these big, things. No, I want to entertain, and I would love to be able to put food on the table through entertaining, but I don't think I would make a movie on my life. I think people would be very bored, to be honest. I think people would be very bored because my life is humble. and I'm okay with that. If you guys ever get a chance, there's a song that I have been listening to a little bit, and I really enjoy it. It's called, if you want to look it up, it's called "The Humbling River." By, I can never pronounce the band's name. It's Pacifier, Pucifier. I can't remember, but if you look up that song, the song talks about a man who entered the afterlife, and he goes through all these trials, and he gets to this river. And this man was a great man. He was conquered mountains, conquered kings, had millions of dollars, was strong, had a great kingdom, and all these things. And he comes to this river, and there's an angel on the other side of the river. And so you assume on the other side of the river is heaven or the afterlife or whatever. And it's a simple river. That's it. This man did great things. He's conquered mountains and thrones and all these things, and then he goes across the river and he can't. And he can't. For some reason, he cannot cross a river. Even though through a simple river, even though through all of his life he has achieved such great monumentous things, he can't cross the river. There's an angel there. And he screams, "Angel, angel, what have I done? I faced the force, the wind, the fire. I've conquered every mountain throne. Why can't I cross this river?" The angel says nothing. Then he asks again, "Angel, angel, what have I done? I've faced the force, the wind, the fire. I've conquered every mountain and throne. Why can't I cross this river?" And then the angel speaks. And when the angel speaks, the angel speaks with both a child, a male, and a female voice united as one. And the angel says, "Pay no mind to the battles you've won. It'll take a lot more than rage and muscle. Open your heart and hands, my son, or you'll never make it over the river. It'll take a lot more than words and guns. A whole lot more than rage and muscle. Open your heart and hands, my son, or you'll never cross the river." And when I heard that, it's because it's called the humbling river, because the river is so humble, it's so simple, and yet he couldn't cross it. And I'll take a look at it after. I'll take a look at it after. But, and I'm sorry if this is boring to you guys, but, and that is an outlook on life that I've had, is to be humble. Now, you can interpret the humbling river as anything. If you're not religious, if you are religious, it could be that simple river is the other side to happiness. It could be the to what you want in life or whatever. The humbling river was a song, to me, a metaphor that was like, this person, though, lived this big grand life, and it's a reflection of the rich young ruler in the Bible, where once again that was another story that was related to this. So it was a very interesting song, and it was one that I've always enjoyed, and something that, and it's got a beautiful melody to it, and it's really nice, and yeah, I want to live a humble life. I desire a humble life. I don't. When someone says, "Oh, do you want to walk down the red carpet?" No, like maybe one day I'll do it once, and then say, "Okay, that was cool." That's just me. I'm humble, and I want to be humble. I don't want to be, saying how great I am. I mean, what? I just spent a half an hour talking about my anxiety. Like some person that talks how great they are. So I'm going to give this stream another 2 minutes because I took a long time on that question. So if you guys got any other questions, fire them off. I will do my best to answer them with everything I got. Question for myself is, what am I going to do when Spyro is over? So I'm thinking about moving on to doing more live streams. I want to do more content, more wider content. I might go to StarCraft as well. But like I said, I always want to be a mix. I don't want to be one thing. Though I've been sitting on Spyro for a long time, I am eventually going to shift from Spyro to something else. Well, now I hope that Spyro gets the same thing with Crash Bandicoot, where for the next 5 years, um, they'll be releasing new Spyro stuff, and then guess what? I will follow on. What do you think about the Crash port leaks? I think that PlayStation is genius in setting it to the Switch, but I'm confused about the PC. Are you going to fix your mic? I don't know. My mic sounds fine. Like, I don't know why it's like this. Because I just did a recording for a video, and it was fine. The input was fine. So I'm thinking that maybe perhaps it's my program and not my actual mic, because it doesn't make sense. I don't know why it's doing this. So I'm going to have to try to figure that out. And if not, I have to get a new mic then. Time for a new mic. Maybe I'll get... will you play Medieval? Actually, I am planning on, hopefully, like I said, if I can get it running and set up, I want to do a live stream. Would you do an Okami live stream? Yes, I would love to do an Okami live stream. I would absolutely love to do an Okami live stream because I missed that boat as a child. I didn't... do you play Mario and Luigi games? Not as much as I used to. Still ranting about life. Not right now. Do you play Mario and Luigi games? I used to play a lot more than I do now. Yeah, no, I watch my stream for the Hearthstone. I get that. But what you're not understanding is I directly recorded a video with the same mic, and the audio was fine. So I'm gonna figure that out. So, but I play like Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That was a lot of fun. The Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, a lot of fun. I'm hesitant on streaming Nintendo stuff, unfortunately, due to the fact that some titles are like, yeah, you can stream this all you want, and then some titles it's just like Banhammer. So I'm cautious. PlayStation is usually a bit more. Do you like fighter games? If so, which ones? I love the Dragon Ball Z games and Mortal Kombat fighters. I've always been a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I think I've owned every single Mortal Kombat since Deadly Alliance. Do I play Halo? I love Halo. At least I absolutely love Halo. Unfortunately, my Xbox One streaming setup is I'm close to complete, and I would love to play Halo, but that's also a big fish in a much bigger fish in a much bigger sea, unfortunately. And one of the things I like about talking about the Spyro remaster is that what do you think about the Sean Lane Purple Twitter stuff? I think it's definitely. I feel like it is a tease. I feel like it's definitely a tease, because why didn't he directly switch to gray for Shadow of the Colossus, which we all knew that was coming out within that week. So I think him turning it to purple was definitely. I think him turning it to purple was definitely at least a poke, and I honestly believe that Sean Layden is listening to our comments, because actually, a friend of mine, what do you want to name your son? Right now, we have two names picked out. The two names we have picked out for sure is either Matthias or David. Matthias or David. Canadian guy A Jr. Yeah, so it'd be Aaron Jr. Either David or Matthias. Those are the two names that we are thinking of. If you could only grab three things, what would if you could grab only three things? Sorry, I don't have my glasses. Grab three things. What would you grab? My wife, my child, and my Bible. Those would be the, if you're including, not including humans, it would be my Bible, my Switch, and my headphones. There you go. So, okay, so I am going to, what is your favorite video game out of everything? And that's a really hard question. That really is a hard question. And I could, every time I sit down and think, what is my favorite video game, I always have a hard time coming up with it. But I guess, why don't you name him A? No. Whenever I think of like my favorite video game of all time, I always can't think. But if I were to name at least the games that I think of that I played the most of, would be Pokemon, Dragon Age Origins, and Warcraft 3. Warcraft 3, Dragon Age Origins, and Pokemon. Those are the three games that, if when I think of how much did I play them, those are the three games that I played an insane. And League of Legends. League of Legends definitely in there. So League of Legends. Okay, I would say League of Legends, Pokemon, and Warcraft 3. Have you ever heard of American McGee's Alice games? Have you ever heard of American McGee's Alice games? Is that the one horror game of Alice that they released not too, like, back for the PS3 or PS2? Like, I can't remember. It was like a horror Alice in Wonderland. Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, if it is, then yes, I have. I know a friend that cosplayed as the crazy Alice. Um. Uh. All right. So I'm just going to just wrap this up now. So, you guys are awesome. You guys help me with my anxiety that I apparently have. Talking with you guys and chatting with you guys helps me a lot. It does. It's very good therapy. It helps me calm down. It helps me forget that I'm having an issue with my heart, whatever that issue is. They did we did a test and checked my blood sugar and checked my blood pressure and my heart, and everything came up normal. So I don't know. We're gonna find out. I want to find out so I can fix it, so that I can focus in on bringing out more content for you guys. But most of all, I'm trying to get this to be a full-time job, make my bread and butter off of this. That'd be amazing. So I can entertain you guys and be able to continue to do that. So thank you. And if you ever donate to me, that includes you, Mr. FO1. Thank you so much. Donations like that, they help. Really, they do. They help so much. I don't know if you really know how much that they help. And Boris, who donates to me as well. If he watches this eventually, I mean, man, the guy donates to me pretty much every time he hops on the stream, and it means the world to me. It really does, because it's not like, oh, money, money, money. I don't see it as money, money, money. I see it as I am now $1 closer to making this my full-time job. $1 closer, because that $1 that you give to me, I reinvest back into the channel, and then I can improve my videos, and then I can improve my content and improve everything. So whenever anybody does that, from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you. And if you purposely watch an ad, thank you. That means a lot to me. It helps. All these things, they help for me. They really do. So I got a lot of work ahead of me right now. It is currently 9:15, and I got 2 hours. I just visited as soon as you mentioned me. Weird. Welcome, Boris. Welcome, my friend. You're always welcome to all of my live streams and any videos and any content. You always are. You're always welcome here. And same to you, Mr. FO1. You guys are always welcome. You guys are always awesome. You guys are always amazing. So, with that, and yeah, I say Boris. If I just visited as soon as you mentioned me. Weird. What is it like? Beetlejuice? Say Boris, Boris, Boris. Poof. There he is. Anyways, guys, I got work I gotta do. I got things that I gotta do, and I can't wait to show you my next video. I'm so pumped. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys are all amazing, and I can't wait to hopefully maybe one day make this my full-time job and be able to entertain you every day. I would love to release a video a day. Take care, guys, and have yourselves a nice night. Peace.